Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome crafty friends, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out my latest video. I'm really happy that you are here joining me. And today I am part of the Crack the Vault collab hosted by Poetspice, and this is the February installment. And again, the main premise for this collab is to use up supplies that we have not used in at least 6 months or longer, and also maybe supplies that we've been hoarding. So essentially cracking the vault to open it up and use different supplies from our stash. And if you open up the description box, I do have Poetspice's channel information along with all of the other talented creators who are participating in this collab. So make sure you check out their videos. There's a wide variety of creators, so you'll see a wide variety of projects being created. And this month I did dip into my cutting dies again. Several years ago, back in 2020, I went to an awesome rummage sale where I bought my mom a ton of yarn, and then they also had stamping supplies. The lady had inherited a stamping collection and cutting die collection, just paper crafting collection from her aunt, and was not going to be using the items. So they basically were selling them pretty cheap because they just wanted to get rid of the stuff. So all the cutting dies were $1, and the yarn I bought my mom, it was high-end yarn. It was all 50 cents a skein. Rubber stamp sets were $1. I mean, it was just unbelievably cheap. And so I did walk away with this cutting, quite a few of the Desire cutting dies, and this was one of them. It's a shutter card, and I have never created anything with it. And I believe most of the items that I purchased were never used, so they were all brand new. And this is kind of a fun little cutting die. And again, it's my first time using it. And here's what it looks like. And I used all the pieces just to basically make the base of the card, but I chose not to use the insert pieces so on any of the cards. And I created several cards to share with you today. And so this first one, I also chose paper that I hadn't used in 6 months or longer. It is some Hobby Lobby. It was from a Hobby Lobby paper pad. Off the top of my head, I can't remember which paper pad, but I hadn't used that one in a long time. And then the rest of it, Tim Holtz label. I think the lady image maybe was Tsunami Rose. It was just something I had in my stash. But pretty much all the laces and trims and the buttons were just, I was doing a desk cleanup, and I just took whatever was laying on my desk to decorate the rest of it. And then I left a little spot to write. So that was the first card, and you can kind of see what it looks like standing up for the little shutter card. It was kind of a fun little die to use. And then again, I went through my stash to look for more paper that I hadn't used in a long time, and then I came across the Heartfelt Creations paper, which is this kind of green paper and with the little owls on it. And this one was called the Sugar Hollow Collection. And I also pulled out one of my postage stamps scissors. It was from Fiskars, and I don't think I've used that in over 6 months also. So that was another supply that I dug out that I hadn't used. And I also added some fun little trim on the sides. I layered up with cardstock from my stash. Another little cutout from this collection that said hang in there, and then missing you. I left a spot to write on. And I added some little flat back adhesive stickers, pearls right there. Again, another fun little card, a cute little card. And then for the next 2 cards, along with using that basic Desire card die to make the base of it, I chose another die cut that I hadn't used in a long time. This one is from Spellbinders, and it was called Rosa Diamante, and here's kind of a sample of it, of what it looks like, the cutting die. So I used that one, and then I also used from Little Yellow Bicycle the Hello on both of these next cards. So here's the first one that I used, and I again used cardstock from my stash, and the paper from this one was Lemon Craft, and it was the Sense and Sensibility paper pad. So it was pink and blue. It was pink color and then this blue color. You can see I layered up that cutting die. You can see the word hello. I added some flat back pearls, and again I added some lace trim to the side and some flat back pearls. I also stamped the word From the Heart, and I believe that was from a really old Stampin' Up collection. Again, some little flowers, trim. Again, I was just cleaning up my desk and those were sitting on my desk. And a little spot to write. So this one's almost exactly the same, but just different colors and different paper and different trims. This one, the paper collection, is from Kaiser Craft, and it was called Flower Shop Collection. And then I stamped the word From the Heart. And then I added this tiny little flower, and that came from Fancy Blossoms. It is, let's see, this one's a memory box cutting die. And that's the number of that one if you want to know it. And again, I don't think I've used this one in several years also, so it was fun to use that one again. And then next I decided, well, I had that die out and I was having fun with it. And I know it's February, but I decided to make a few Christmas cards. Every year come November, I start thinking about Christmas cards, and it seems like there's 20 other projects I want to do, and then I don't make as many Christmas cards as I was like, or the variety. So I thought I was going to make a couple of, whenever I have a die cut out that I think I can make a Christmas card out of, I'm going to try and incorporate making a few Christmas cards throughout the year. So then that way, by the time December rolls around and I want to send out cards, I will have a nice stash, hopefully, fingers crossed. And let's see, so this first one, I used, again, Spellbinders, and this one was Labels 19. And then I also used this Majestic Deer from Scrapping Cottage. Again, I think it's been at least 6 months for both of these cutting dies. For sure for the deer, it's been over that. And I'm not sure on this Spellbinders one. And then I used Stamperia paper for the main paper, and it was from like maybe Pink Christmas. It's from my stash. And then also the little embellishments came from that same paper pad. I added some flowers, also some flat back heart pearl right there. You can see some eyelash trim and some delicate lace off of both sides and a spot to write. I still might stamp something like Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays on the inside of this one, but I'll wait until closer to Christmas time to do that, depending upon who I give it to. And then for the next few dies, I used this set from Spellbinders, and this one is called Christmas Blooms. And there was poinsettias and pine cones and some little foliage type stuff on this one. And then again, I chose paper I hadn't ever used before for my stash. And I used Classic Christmas from Simple Stories brand. And then I also used, I think, a sheet from Bo Bunny that was called Christmas Village. And then the rest were all like cardstock pieces that were in my scrap bin. So here was the cutting dies from Spellbinders. And then the little cut aparts right here, that's from the Simple Stories collection. This was some of the paper from that. That one says Holiday Hugs and Candy Cane Wishes. So I have that cute little card. This background green paper was the Bo Bunny paper from the Christmas Village, and this came from the Simple Stories, all the cut apart images. And again, this one I just chose to use the little holly. In the corners, I also used a little stickles on it. And all these I left pretty plain. I figured I can stamp in them later. Again, another Classic Christmas from Simple Stories paper, and then one of the little cut aparts and the cute little cutting dies again from Spellbinders. So thank you again, everybody, so much for watching, and I would love to hear what your favorite was out of all the cards that I created. And of course, please check out the other ladies who are participating in the collab, and I will see you back again next month for the March installment. So until then, have a wonderful day and happy crafting.